Battle of the Brains, presented by Invest 529, Central Virginia's high school academic quiz show. Today's match features Trinity Episcopal School versus Blacksburg High School. Let's play.
Hello and welcome to Battle of the Brains and this season's quarterfinal matches, today featuring two of our excellent 8 teams. I'm Cheryl Miller. Our high school academic competition does welcome teams from schools all across the Commonwealth of Virginia competing for a share of $20,000 in scholarship money courtesy of Invest 529 and the E.W. Scripps Foundation. Today's teams have made it through 2 rounds and the winner of today's match is guaranteed at least $2,500 of that scholarship money. The academic athletes joining us today are the Titans of Trinity Episcopal School, coached by Pauline Crowling and Ned Trice. Trinity Episcopal School is a private liberal arts high school located in Richmond with an enrollment of about 500 students. Trinity Episcopal was the city's first international baccalaureate world school established more than 30 years ago. Also with us today in this quarterfinal match, the Bruins of Blacksburg High School, coached by Mary Louise Moss. Blacksburg High School is in the Montgomery County public school system. School officials say they have high expectations as students reach their full potential in education and in life. And it's great to have all of these students back with us today. They will play 3 toss-up rounds and a category round. Players will buzz in and wait for me to call on them before giving their answer. All right, students, welcome back. Let's begin with the first toss-up round. Manco Capac was the legendary founder of what South American empire? Brandon?
Inca.
That is correct. This kingdom contains organisms that absorb nutrients from decaying organic matter. Charlie?
Decomposers.
That is incorrect. I'll finish for Blacksburg. Name this kingdom that contains yeast, molds, and mushrooms. Samson?
Fungi.
Correct. Okay. What is the difference in voltage between a AAA battery and a D-sized battery? Matthew?
3 volts.
That is incorrect. Blacksburg? Brandon?
18 volts.
There's actually no difference. Both provide the same voltage, 1.5 volts. The last expansion of the Major League Baseball occurred in 1998. Name either of the... Matthew?
The Tampa Bay Rays.
That is correct. Name either of the 2 teams added at that time, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Founded in 1868, which prestigious Virginia University's alumni included Booker T. Washington in 1875 and Alberta King, the mother of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. in 1924. Charlie?
The Tuskegee Institute.
That is incorrect. Blacksburg? Eli?
Virginia State.
It was actually Hampton University. It was called Hampton Normal and Industrial Institute at that time. With 238 victories, who is the winningest head football coach in Virginia Tech's history? Eli?
Beamer.
Frank Beamer is correct. In 2007, the British Army ended its longest ever continuous campaign named Operation Banner. Identify this province where thousands of troops were sent to quell riots between Catholics, separatists, and Protestants. Matthew?
Northern Ireland.
That is correct. The Congo is the second longest river on which continent? Matthew?
Africa.
Correct. The 1969 Mario Puzo book and later movie, The Godfather, focused on the lives of what fictional Sicilian mafia family? Matthew?
The Brants.
That is incorrect. Blacksburg? Brandon?
Sopranos.
The Corleones. You may need your pencil and paper. How many 3-digit numbers are divisible by 5, given that 100 has 3 digits, but 1,000? Brandon?
180.
That is correct. All right, teams, take a look at the monitors. Here is a question from a member of the Brady Bunch.
William Byrd II, a wealthy planter, founded what 2 Virginia cities that are both located along the fall line?
Matthew?
Williamsburg and Richmond.
I'm going to go to the judges for that.
Yes.
We will accept that. Yes, that is correct. This aircraft was meant to be filled with helium, but an American embargo caused hydrogen. Matthew?
The Hindenburg.
That is correct. Crashed in New Jersey in 1937. The Weeknd, Justin Bieber, and Shawn Mendes are pop stars that all hail from which country? Rishi?
Canada.
That is correct. What word describes a person who is honest and just, or names either of the 2 vertical parts of a football goalpost? Matthew?
Upright.
Correct. This muscle is called the syrinx in birds. What's it called in humans? Matthew?
Deltoid.
That is incorrect. Blacksburg? Brandon?
Larynx.
That is correct. In grammar, what is the part of a sentence which says something about the subject? Vincenzo,
Adjective.
say it again for me.
Adjective.
That is incorrect. Blacksburg? Eli?
A modifier.
It's actually called the predicate. All right, grab your pencil and paper again. What is the only value of x that satisfies this equation? 3x plus 10 equals x plus 4. Matthew?
X equals -3.
That is correct. And that buzzer is the end of our first toss-up round. Good job by our team so far, but a lot more questions to come. Up next, we'll introduce you to today's players, and then they'll take on the category round when Battle of the Brains continues.
Miss a week of Battle of the Brains? Want to catch up on the full season of play? Find full episodes on our YouTube channel. Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
Here are the scores following the first toss-up round here on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Trinity Episcopal School with 60 points. Our team from Blacksburg High School with 60 points. So it's a tie match. And we'll get back to our questions just ahead. But first, let's tell you a little bit about today's players. First, let's meet our team from Trinity Episcopal School. The Titans are coached by Pauline Kroling and Ned Trice. First up is Vincenzo Berfato, who is a senior, enjoys soccer and track, plays both sports, and works at a restaurant and wants to study exercise science. Up next is sophomore Charlie Lowen, who is a Star Scout in Scout Troop 1893, has done over 20 musicals with Character Works Theater, and enjoys playing chess. Our team captain is Matthew Wadelick, who is a senior. He runs track and cross country, wants to study nuclear engineering, and currently is president of the Sports Broadcasting Club. And wrapping up our team is senior Sam Woltman, who enjoys cycling, wants to become a civil engineer, and likes to study history. Now for our team from Blacksburg High School, they are the Bruins, coached by Mary Louise Moss. First up is Samson O, who is a sophomore, enjoys ice skating and playing chess. Our team captain is senior Rishi Nair, who likes to play chess as well, enjoys tennis and ping pong. Next up is senior Brandon Hugh, who enjoys swimming, reading, and folding origami. And wrapping up the team is Eli Simunza, who is a cross-country runner, a radio DJ, and an avid musician. Great to have all of these players back with us for today, round 3, and now our category round. Each team will select one 10-question category from today's choices. If the team gets all of its questions correct in the allotted time, they will receive a 20-point bonus. All right, teams, here are today's categories from which you may choose. They are American landmarks, kids on TV, and famous women. We do note that in this round, only the captains can officially answer for the team, though they may confer with their teammates to try to come up with the correct answer. And the captain may not defer to another player for the category. By the rules, the high-scoring team gets first choice. Since there is a tie, the team that had the last correct answer will get first choice of category. So that is our team from Trinity Episcopal School. So Matthew, talk it over your teammates and tell me what you'd like to
I
play.
think we're going to do famous women.
All right, identify these women
Okay.
from the following descriptions or clues. The mother of Solomon.
Edna.
That would be Bathsheba.
Oh,
The daughter of Ptolemy the 12th.
Ptolemy. Cleopatra. Yeah. Cleopatra.
Correct. First woman to win a Nobel Prize for Physics in 1903.
Marie Curie.
Correct. Burned at the stake in 1431.
Joan of Arc.
Correct. First black woman elected to the U.S. House of Representatives.
Pass.
That would be Shirley Chisholm. Famously carried water to soldiers during the Battle of Monmouth.
Battle of Monmouth. Oh, say it.
Claire Barton.
That would be Molly Pitcher.
Pitcher.
Author of the Joy Luck Club novel.
Pass.
Amy Tan. Wrote The Feminine Mystique.
Say it.
Betty Crichton.
Betty Friedan.
Dan.
First black woman to sit on the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
That would be Ketanji Brown Jackson. And finally, abolitionist whose real name is Isabella Beaufry.
Anthony.
It's not Anthony.
It's not.
Pass.
That would be Sojourner Truth.
Sojourner Truth.
That was a tough category. All right, Blacksburg, you will either play American Landmarks or Kids on TV.
We'll do American landmarks, please.
All right, given the following clues, identify which state each of these landmarks is located in. The first is Los Alamos Testing Site.
Texas.
Texas?
That would be New Mexico.
Oh my God, sorry.
Grand Ole Opry.
Tennessee.
Tennessee?
Correct. Crazy Horse Memorial.
It's like South Dakota, maybe?
Yeah.
South Dakota.
South Dakota is correct. The Erie Canal,
New York. New York.
correct. Burr-Hamilton Duel,
Oh, it's like New York, maybe?
Jersey? New Jersey?
Yeah, sure. New Jersey.
New Jersey is correct. The Space Needle,
Seattle.
Seattle.
Washington.
Washington.
that you had to give the state,
Yeah.
so it is Washington. Big Sur,
California.
California.
correct. Pro Football Hall of Fame,
Ohio.
Ohio.
correct. Gateway Arch,
Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri.
correct. And finally, Fort Sumter,
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
that is correct. Good job on your category as well.
My bad.
And now up next, another toss-up round when we come back here on Battle of the Brains.
Battle of the Brains is always available. Find full episodes on YouTube and follow Battle of the Brains on social media. Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
Here are the scores following the category round here on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Trinity Episcopal School with 75 points and our team from Blacksburg High School with 100 points. And now it's back to Battle of the Brains and another toss-up round. But first, a reminder to our teams, you do lose points if you interrupt a question with an incorrect answer. The other team then has the chance to answer the completed question if they wait to buzz in. And there's, of course, no conferring in the toss-up rounds. All right, teams, here we go. With an atomic number of 13, name this third most, Brandon.
Aluminum.
That is correct. Third most abundant element in the Earth's crust. You may need your pencil and paper. There are 6 snakes in a lake, and the population of snakes doubles every year. In how many years will there be 96 snakes? Brandon?
4.
That is correct.
Gosh.
Named after its inventor, what type of automobile suspension device is basically a shock absorber mounted in a steel spring? Brandon?
Faraday cage.
That is incorrect. Trinity? It's called a McPherson strut. British physician Peter Roget is best known for publishing what type of book? Matthew?
Dictionary?
That is incorrect. Blacksburg? Eli?
Encyclopedia.
It's actually the thesaurus. His name is actually in it. It's Roget's thesaurus. Tapeworms, chiggers, and ticks are organisms that live on, Matthew?
Parasite?
That is correct. On or in the expense of another animal. Seen in movies and TV shows set in the city, how many stars are on the city flag of Chicago, Illinois? Samson?
3.
That is incorrect. Trinity? Matthew?
5.
There's actually 4 on a white background between 2 sky blue stripes. Okay, grab that pencil and paper again. Solve log to the base 4 of the quantity x plus 6 minus to the base 4 of the quantity x minus 1, x equals, I'm going to start again. Solve log to the base 4 of the quantity x plus 6 minus log to the base 4 of the quantity x minus 1 equals log to the base 4 of 5. Matthew?
11 over 4.
That is correct. Or 2.75. Old Christmas lights are an example of these. Matthew?
Series circuit.
That is correct. Non-parallel circuits. In 1605, Guy Fawkes was convicted in the famous gunpowder plot for attempting to blow up what building? Matthew?
British Parliament.
That is correct. In London, or specifically the House of Lords building. Juneau, Utah, Omaha. These were code names for places. Sam?
D-Day.
That is correct. That saw heroic fighting during the Battle of World War II. He is honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame despite the fact that he no longer makes the top 10 list of scariest movie creatures. Name this 68-year-old Japanese fire breather. Matthew?
Godzilla.
That is correct. Debuted in October 1954. What aptly named avenue closely parallels the boardwalk in Virginia Beach? Matthew?
Ocean View.
That is incorrect. Blacksburg? Eli?
Ocean.
It's actually called Atlantic Avenue. You were close. Filibuster is a term that comes from the Dutch word for pirate. Brandon?
F-I-L-I-B-U-S-T-E-R.
That is correct, but that is not the question. According to the current laws of the U.S. Senate, what is the least number of votes necessary to invoke cloture or cut off a filibuster? Matthew?
30.
That is incorrect. It's 60. This Civil War era legislation allowed any family, head or adult male, to claim 160 acres of prairie land for a $10 registration fee. Eli?
The Homestead Act.
That is correct. If you are riding in something first made by the Otis Corporation in 1853, what would it be? Brandon?
Elevator.
That is correct. All right, take a look at the monitors. Here's another question from the Battle of the Brains Brainy Bunch.
Who was the King of England during the American Revolution?
Brandon?
King George III.
That is correct. And that buzzer means the end of our toss-up round. And one more toss-up to go. Just ahead, we'll double the point value. Stay tuned to see which team is today's winner, and we'll go on to the semifinal round here on Battle of the Brains.
Love Battle of the Brains? Ready for your high school team to play next season? Go to battleofthebrains.net to learn more. Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
Here are the scores as we head into the final round. It is a tight match at this point. Our team from Trinity Episcopal High School with 135 points. Our team from Blacksburg High School with 140 points. Now for this last toss-up round, the point score for a correct answer is doubled, but so is the penalty for an incorrect answer given before I finish the question. There's no deduction for an incorrect answer to a completed question. All right, teams, good luck. This is our final toss-up round. Mehmet II captured what city in 1453, ending the Byzantine Empire? Brandon?
Constantinople.
That is correct. Our next question is spell Byzantine. Brandon?
B-Y-Z-A-N-T-I-N-E.
And that is correct. This constant has units of angular momentum, is the ratio of a photon's energy and frequency, and Matthew?
Planck's constant.
That is correct. You may need your pencil and paper. Solve for x in the following. 3x plus x minus 4x plus 2x equals 24. Brandon?
12.
That is correct. Again, you may need your pencil and paper. According to superstition, how many years of bad luck would you expect to have if you broke 7 mirrors? Brandon?
49.
That is correct. Suspicion says 7 years of bad luck for breaking 1 mirror. In the course of the 18th century, Baal Shem Tov, born in the present-day Ukraine as Israel ben Elazar, founded what branch of Judaism? Matthew?
Hasidism.
That is correct. Her name means foremost of the noble ladies. Name this Egyptian pharaoh who ruled in the 1400s BC. Brandon?
Hatshepsut.
That is correct. How many hockey players are on one team on the ice? Matthew?
6.
That is correct, if none are in the penalty box. Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Matthew?
Los Angeles Lakers.
That is correct. And Kobe Bryant all won an NBA title playing for the Lakers. What author who criticized religion in The Mysterious Stranger and Small Town Life in The Man That Corrupted Hadleyburg created Huckleberry Finn? Matthew?
Twain.
Mark Twain is correct. Name any two of the 5 tribes that comprise the Iroquois Confederacy through much of the North American colonial period. Matthew?
The Iroquois and the Algonquins.
That is incorrect. Brandon?
Iroquois and Oneida.
It would be the Oneida, Mohawk, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca. In literature, name the waistcoat-wearing, pocket watch-checking inhabitant of Wonderland who obsesses. Charlie?
The White Rabbit.
That's correct. He obsesses on punctuality. Which element in the carbon group has an atomic number of 82 and is impervious to, Brandon?
Lead.
Correct, impervious to X-ray vision. Niccolo Machiavelli gained his vast experience of politics through his service as diplomat and office holder in the government of what Italian republic? Eli?
Venice.
That is incorrect. Trinity? Matthew?
Milan.
It's actually Florence. This city's laws were supposedly established by Lycurgus. Brandon?
Sparta.
Correct. What is the only U.S. state to grow and sell both bananas and coffee on a large commercial scale? Matthew?
Hawaii.
That is correct. Before 1916, this country's flag featured a white elephant on a red background. In 1917, the elephant was dropped in favor of a red, white, and blue horizontal stripes. Samson?
Thailand.
That is correct. What is the name of this country, once known as Siam? What gas is released when a can of soda is opened? Charlie?
Carbon dioxide.
Correct. What country is connected to Sri Lanka by a chain of small islands? Rishi?
India.
That is correct. The small island's called Adams Bridge. In his youth, what sport did Abraham Lincoln excel?
Okay.
Charlie?
Wrestling.
That is correct. He competed in roughly 300 matches, losing only once. Who was the first of only 3 African Americans to be elected governor of a U.S. state? Matthew?
Pass.
All right. Blacksburg? Brandon?
Ralph Northam.
It's actually Doug Wilder here in Virginia in 1989. Set in the Yukon during the Klondike Gold Rush, which Jack London... Brandon?
Call of the Wild.
That is correct. Features a dog named Buck. That buzzer is the end of our match. While our judges double check the final score, here's a reminder of how to stay connected with us here on Battle of the Brains.
Stay up to date on Battle of the Brains. Follow along as your favorite teams advance this season. Visit battleofthebrains.net to learn more and follow along at Battle of the Brains on social media. Join us next week on Battle of the Brains as we welcome students from Glen Allen High School playing against students from Jamestown High School. Don't miss the action.
And here's the final score for today's match, determining which team will continue on in this season's competition and also earns a minimum of $2,500 in scholarship money. Ending the match with a final score of 315 points, our team from Trinity Episcopal School. Great job during this whole season so far by Sam, Matthew, Charlie, and Vincenzo. Best of luck in the rest of your school year. And our winners today with a final score of 340 points is our team from Blacksburg High School. Great job today by Samson, Rishi, Brandon, and Eli. And we'll see you all in the next round. I'm Cheryl Miller. Thank you so much for watching and playing along here on Battle of the Brains, and we'll see you back here next week. Great match, teams.
Game over. Thank you for watching Battle of the Brains, presented by Invest 529. Goodbye.